You're listening to the Stallion Radio Network.
Welcome to Movie Talk. I like to live dangerously.
Did you hear this?
Yes.
In the face.
And here are your hosts, Brian Seals, Brett Seals, and Vic Vasquez.
And Happy New Year, everybody.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. Happy New Year to all you guys here. Dr. Doom, of course. Happy New Year.
Here at the Moon Studios.
Monster
Moon
Moon.
Studios.
That's the short name.
We do have, I'm one of your hosts, of course, Vic Vasquez. You can follow me at Twitter at Tatoric23.
And I am Brian Seals. You can follow me at Twitter at Movie Talk Brian.
And I'm Brett Seals. You can follow me on Twitter at The Podcast King.
We have a lot of good stuff. It's a lot more meatier, I guess you can say, than last week. 'Cause last week was a little slow for news, but we got a bunch of stuff. Like, I'm bringing, of course, the Batman vs. Superman news.
Yep.
Brian,
As
what are you
always.
bringing?
I'm bringing my unscripted movie scenes take 2 since we didn't do it last week, believe it or not.
Yeah, we actually forgot.
Really?
That. Yeah,
You guys,
we forgot to do
he
that.
didn't put it on the list, so I felt left out.
But he doubled up this week. He's got.
I doubled up by 1.
Well, that's
Whoa.
plenty. That's more than
Exactly.
enough. No, but
So-
it's actually. I mean, it's not. I mean, it's 6 days after the New Year or whatever. But we haven't seen you guys since New Year's Eve. So yes, Happy New Year.
We kind of missed
Happy
you.
New
Kinda
Year.
missed
Glad
you.
to be back, of
We
course.
missed you.
The first show of 2014, though. 1
Sure
of
to-
52 here.
Doing it all over again.
Yeah.
Be sure to follow us, of course, like I said, at Tatoric23 on Twitter. We got Brian over there.
Movie
at
Talk Brian.
Movie Talk Brian.
Yes.
Podcast King. And
Podcast King over there.
then at Movie Talk Radio.
And we do promise that our website will be up as soon as possible when we start to work on it.
Yeah.
We have like the minions from Despicable Me working on it,
Yeah.
so this might take a little bit, but
It's a long process.
It
I
is.
mean, it's
It's a hard process too.
yeah, but we are working on it. But we will kick things off with the first edition of On This Day in History for 2014.
woo!
January 7th is the date today. We're going back. I think this is probably maybe the furthest we've ever gone back. 1894. This is like pioneer days, people, for film. Thomas Edison, who invented, I believe, the light bulb? The light bulb? I'm pretty sure that's what it is. I
Thomas Edison, I believe he's a old sailor from.
old sailor.
All right, Ron.
Yeah, he invented the light bulb. Thomas Edison's film Edison Kinetoscopic Record of a Sneeze was copyrighted on this day.
Achoo!
I know it's a very, very odd title, but go ahead, Brian. You want to finish? It was actually the first motion picture to be copyrighted in the United States. That's the beauty behind the whole thing, is that it was the first motion picture copyrighted. The film was a 1-minute short of Edison's assistant Fred Ott sneezing. This was like when they were testing. Like, this is pioneer days. That's
This
what I
was like
said.
B-real kind of.
Yeah.
Like, I want to copyright this. And they're like, what's a copyright?
Yeah, that was pretty much the invention. No, I think copywriting a film had never been done before in the United States anyway. But that's what happened on
Like, it's just
Nice.
a dude sneezing.
1926. George Burns and Gracie Allen were married on this day. The two would go on to form one of the greatest comedy teams of film history. They would remain wed until Gracie's death in 1964. Today would have been their 88th anniversary. Wow.
Good old
Jeez.
George.
That's crazy. Also on this day, 1964, Nicholas Kim Coppola was born in Long Beach, California, although the world knows him as Nicolas Cage. The Academy Award-winning actor for his performance in Leaving Las Vegas. He is the nephew of the Academy Award-winning director Francis Ford Coppola and the cousin of Academy Award-winning writer-director Sofia Coppola. So he turns 50 today, Nick Cage. Yeah, I know you guys were laughing about his name, right?
No, I'm just laughing because we had to mention Nick Cage on
It's
our
his
show.
birthday, of
It's
course.
his birthday, but other than that, like, he's never mentioned. Like, you will be mentioned when I bring up that segment, that the movies that you were supposedly supposed to be in. But
I actually thought that would have been a perfect segment to have in this episode
you should've
because
said
it was his
something. You should
birthday.
have said something. I probably would have done it.
I thought you guys were laughing at his name because
No.
his middle name is Kim.
He probably should change his name to Kim now since his movie career is kind of
Kim
dropped.
Cage.
Yeah, Kim Cage.
Hey, he's an Academy Award-winning actor. And
Not anymore.
what do you mean not anymore? It doesn't go away. Leaving Las Vegas, that was pretty good.
Yeah, that was good.
should
But I'm
have
talking about
so.
today. That was in the past. What has he done today?
It goes away sometimes. Maybe it'll come back. I mean, it happens.
hoping. He's
it
hoping.
happens. No, but I mean, he's got an Academy Award. His uncle, Francis Ford Coppola's got 5
No, I
Academy
should say
Awards,
he
and
did-
Sofia Coppola's
I
got an
should
Academy
say
Award.
he did have Academy Award because more than him, with him being tight on money, he probably sold that.
No, it got repossessed.
Well,
That's what
there
happened.
You go. There
No,
you go.
but he's celebrating with his family with all their Academy Awards. It's an Academy Award-winning
Ouch.
family right there. So, happy birthday, happy 50th. But that is what happened on this day in film history.
Well,
Very
also, on this day we have some DVD releases to talk about, and only 2 really to mention. Eric Bana's Closed Circuit is out on DVD.
It's amazing how many times I forget the movies
I know. I actually
when the DVD release happens.
I actually had to look this one up too because I forgot about it.
I forgot about it as well.
But yeah, that's out on DVD. And then Ben Affleck and JT Runner is out.
Which I saw earlier in the year.
Yes.
It's not worth buying. It's still a good movie. I would say definitely just check it out, rent it, Redbox kind of thing.
Isn't that one you definitely want to see again?
You need to do it again. Well, sure, Ben Affleck, whatever you say, sir.
Are we going to
Mr.
start
Batman.
referring to Justin Timberlake as JT?
I always call him JT.
From now on?
I always call him JT. It's short.
I used to call him JT Lake.
JT Lake, there you go.
There you go.
JT Lake.
That's the best. That's the best name I've heard for him, JT
Because
Lake.
JT can be anything or anybody.
That's true.
JT
JT
Lake.
Lake. That yeah.
Oh, well, not to be confused with Ricky Lake, I guess. But there you go.
But yeah, those are the DVD releases. Box office results are in, and I'm getting sick and tired of this Frozen movie.
It's made like $500 million.
It keeps screwing with us.
Mm-hmm.
It's up, it's down,
It jumped.
it's all around.
It jumped from 3 to 2, and then from 2 to 1
It seriously, it
in
keeps
2
jumping.
weeks. That's crazy.
It's jumping like
Yeah.
crazy. It's ridiculous.
That stupid snowman. What's his name? Olaf.
Yes.
Yeah, stupid snowman.
Well, at number 10 was Grudge Match, which made 5.3. At number 9 was The Hunger Games Catching Fire, which made 7 even. At number 8 was The Secret Life of Walter Mitty, which made 8 even. At number 7 was Saving Mr. Bank, which made 8.6. At number 6 was Anchorman 2, The Legend Continues, which made 10.6. At number 5 was American Hustle, which made 12.4. At number 4 was The Wolf of Wall Street, which made 13.2. At number 3 was The Hobbit, The Desolation of Smaug, which made 15.6. At number 2 was Paranormal
Smaug.
Activity, the marked one, which made 18.3. And at number 1 was Frozen, which made 19.5.
All right. Now, before we get into the recently watched, let's talk a little bit about a couple things. Let's talk about Frozen and how it's screwing us over. Does anybody have any interest in seeing this movie because of what it's done?
I kind of do now since it keeps messing with me in the box office.
I think we
See
all,
what all the fuss is about?
yeah, I think we all predicted it to win the Golden Globe, if I'm not mistaken, for Best Animated Film. Yeah, you did.
Yeah, I
can see it
have
right
my picks
I have
right
the
there.
Croods.
Yeah, you had the Croods. I had Frozen as well. And I think it probably, I don't know, they extend the Academy Award nominations for animation, like with foreign films. I think this one's got a pretty good shot. But, yeah, I mean, it jumped from 3 to 2 and then 2 to 1. Yeah, this film, I mean, I got to see it now. I mean, it keeps messing with us.
I want to know what's so good about it, and then I'll be like, oh, okay.
Okay, the next thing, Paranormal Activity.
Haha.
Have you guys heard anything?
I actually have heard a lot about it.
So have I.
Nope.
Nope, you haven't heard anything?
Nope.
Wow.
I've heard a lot of bad things about it.
Bad things?
A lot of bad things about it. I heard it was horrible.
I've been,
And it's funny too, because I had a lot of friends the last one was stupid, but stupid me decided to go see this one too, and sure enough, dumb.
I've actually heard the opposite, which is kind of, concerning for me because it's just, people don't know a good movie when it sits on their lap.
True.
People say, I swear to God, I read on Twitter, somebody said that they cried during the movie because of how scary it was, and then even after the movie, they were still crying. I'm like, you've got to be joking me. I mean, when the first movie came out, sure, never been done before, really. Second movie, okay, but what are they on? This is not including. I mean,
This
I don't even know which one this is. I've lost count.
Technically, like the fifth one, I think.
Yeah,
Is
the sixth
fourth
one comes out this year, or whatever.
Oh, and they're not
boy.
done.
Yeah, of course they're not done.
They're not done.
But it actually really bombed at the box office, 18.3 mil. Compared to what the other ones made, that's pretty bad.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I've heard nothing but bad things about it. Like me personally, you said you've heard some things from other people how it was good. Like me personally, it don't matter if it's good or not to me because this is a franchise that I am completely done with.
I've been done with it. I don't think I've seen past the second one.
Like I think I've watched the first 3, and after that, I'm like, no more. It's done for me.
The same thing happened with me in Pirates of the Caribbean. I've seen the first 2, and I haven't seen anything after that since. It just gets old after a while. I mean,
kind of like the Saw movies.
That's exactly what I was about to say.
I think I've seen them all, but I'm not sure because they're all kind of. They seem just like the same thing.
They
over
really
and over
are.
again.
I've seen the first two and then watched the third one, and after the third one, I was like, okay, I'm done with this too. Like it gets more stupid.
It just became more about the kills.
Well, yeah, it's like there was no story to it. It was just like, let's hack this guy's arm off or rip his head off, and there was like nothing to it. And
Fall into a pit of syringes.
It's lame. I don't
and
like
they're bringing it back, which is even
more lame.
more sickful. But just Paranormal Activity, I don't know. Hopefully, because of the terrible weekend it had, hopefully they will learn. I mean, other than the fact that there's one coming out again this year, maybe after that they'll finally learn that.
Nope.
It's yeah, you're probably right. But.
I already know because I've read an article where they have a plan to end, like supposedly end it.
When? This year? After the 6th one?
No, after the next one.
The 7th one?
Yeah.
They have another one after the one that comes out this year?
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Supposedly.
They'll probably they want to go to like 10. They want to end off like a round number. So yeah, they're not done.
Supposedly.
All right, but I know you watched Anchorman 2, sir.
Speaking of crying in the movie.
Yeah, there you go.
I was crying in the movie today because I saw Anchorman 2, and it was hilarious. I was kind of, going into it, I'm a huge fan of Anchorman. I think everybody's a huge fan. Quote it pretty much every day in, one way, shape, or form. And I went in there, and I was just laughing from start to finish. It was a little long because, people have been like, oh, it's too long for a comedy and this and that. But it is a little long, but it's still, you're just laughing the whole time.
Yeah, I heard
is that really a bad thing? If you're laughing?
No.
I heard it was like an hour and 50 minutes. So yeah, I mean,
It's like almost, like
Something
close
like
to 2
that?
hours. And then I stayed to watch the credits, too.
mhm.
Because there's a scene at the end. I mean, it is what...
Yeah,
Yeah, it was what it was, but it wasn't anything that adds to the story or anything.
it wasn't like a Marvel end credit scene.
You know what I find funny about this too? Like it just dawned on me not long ago, especially today. Like the first movie came out, and like that was that. But then the second movie has come out, and now like everywhere you go, you see merchandise of Ron Burgundy like everywhere.
He interviewed Peyton Manning on ESPN.
Yeah, I saw
like-
that.
It was quotable from start to finish. Like even all the cameos. Me and Brian were talking about it. There's tons of cameos that I didn't even know were going to be in there. Like Will
Yeah.
Smith to say that, and then
Drake was like in the first.
Drake was in the first
2 minutes.
He's like, hey, she got the Loch Ness monster.
Yeah.
But it was quite hilarious. I wish it would have been like a little bit shorter, but it was still great.
Yeah, see, I mean, I told you guys I was kind of skeptical about it because our other brother told us that he had heard of people who walked out on the movie. And I mean, I guess it's because some people just don't get Will Ferrell's, sense of humor, I guess. He's got a very unique sense of humor. And I mean, I've heard that if you like the first one, you'll like the second one. So I still want to see it because it's Will Ferrell and I've seen the first one, but
There was something in the trailer that wasn't in the movie.
that happens all the time.
Yeah, so I was kind of disappointed to see how that scene would actually played out. It's
Yeah.
the one where they're talking to that guy, and he's like, "Oh, are you a vampire?" He's
Oh,
like,
yeah.
"No, I like guys."
Yeah.
Or whatever. And
That whole thing wasn't in the
No, it wasn't it.
it wasn't. So I was trying to see like what the rest of that scene would have looked like, or like
Was that character even in the movie?
maybe in passing? I don't know. I didn't really notice him,
Wow. Yeah, see, that happens all the time. People get pretty pissed
but it was
about
quite
that.
hilarious. I definitely
Deleted
want to see it
scene.
again. Yeah.
Well, that's all you saw?
I just a few weeks ago I bought some Blu-rays and I finally got around to watching them. Saw Man of Steel again, and then right afterwards watched Dark Knight Rises.
Those are always worth mentioning.
So
Brian, you were slacking this week.
I didn't like. There was nothing that like was interesting in seeing out in theaters, and I didn't get time to like watch anything else. But I did buy Impractical Jokers on DVD.
Very good.
nice.
Yes.
Very good, sir. Yeah. I mean, everything that's in theater that we've wanted to see, we've already saw for the most part, except Frozen, which we now have to see. But
Yes, that's on my to-do list. But
I got busy today and watched a couple films.
sir,
I saw. It's been out for a while, and when we were doing our top 5 lists for 2013, I kept reading people's top 10 list, and this was constantly in there. The Spectacular Now, which is directed by James Ponsoldt, written by Scott Neustadter and Michael H. Weber, stars Miles Teller, Shailene Woodley, Kyle Chandler, and Brie Larson. It's about a hard-partying high school senior's philosophy on life changes when he meets the not-so-typical nice girl. And, I mean, it's really... Obviously, it's like a romantic comedy. Miles Teller, if you don't remember who that is, he was in Project X. He was like the USC baseball player. Then he was in 21 and Over. Vic's trying to think. I can show you a picture. You'll know exactly what I'm talking about.
Because I haven't seen those movies, but I remember like the trailers and stuff for him, so I was trying to picture who he was.
And I mean, he's really. I mean, when we also did our list for breakout performers, he could have easily been one of the picks because, I mean, he really showed his acting ability in this movie, and I thought, he's got huge potential. And this movie, I mean, it's really, I mean, like I said, romantic comedy. It's not cliche. I mean, it's not, I mean, like I was thinking in my head, like plotting out the whole story, and I was really surprised by the way it ended and everything, but you should definitely check it out. I believe it's already on Blu-ray because that's how I watched it. I watched it through a torrent, but it said Blu-ray, so. It's
always good when, you see a movie and you're like, oh, this is going to happen now and this is going to happen, and then it gets to that point and it doesn't happen.
You want to be surprised.
It's always a good thing.
Yeah, you don't like predictable movies like The Purge.
Yeah.
Which we really...
Can we not even mention that on the show
Me
anymore?
and Brian wrote that movies in our head as it was happening. We knew everything that was going to happen.
And then you're like, hey, I bet you this is going to happen
right
now.
Do you know I'm already trying to get roped into watching the second one when it comes out?
No.
Yeah, I'm already trying to get roped, and I'm not doing it. Not doing it.
But this movie is really something different. And it's actually from the writers, if you've seen 500 Days of Summer, same writers.
Love that movie.
Nice.
Same writers.
Love that movie. Really?
Yeah, same writers. It's really
Awesome.
It's really good. I would check it out. The Spectacular Now. The other movie I saw, which I've been wanting to see for a long time, was Dallas Buyers Club, which was directed by Jean-Marc Vallée, written by Craig Borton and Melissa Wallach, starring Matthew McConaughey, Jared Leto, and Jennifer Garner. It's about... In 1985 Dallas, electrician and hustler Ron Woodruff, played by Matthew McConaughey, works around the system to help AIDS patients get the medication they need after he himself is diagnosed with the disease. And, oh my God. I mean, going in, we talked about Jared Leto's performance. That's all I've heard about this movie. He is going to win the Golden Globe and the Academy Award. Hands down. And if he doesn't, like I said, I will riot the streets with others.
You said in the streets.
In the streets, I will riot because oh my God, what a comeback this guy's had. I mean, this performance was just hands down. I mean, if it weren't for Matthew McConaughey, he could probably win the Academy Award for Best Actor in a leading role if Matthew McConaughey wasn't in the movie. But yeah, this is going to be a big step up for Jared Leto, and even Matthew McConaughey, who was nominated himself, did really, really well. And he was skinny as hell in this movie. Oh my God. I mean, I've never seen him get that skinny before.
Not that they can kill me in 30 days, or what did he say?
Yeah.
Something like that. But it's good to see Jared Leto getting, some good work and stuff from the Panic Room.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone loves a comeback.
Yeah.
From Cornrows in the Panic Room.
I mean, I think the last comeback I remember was
now.
Mickey Rourke.
I mean, there's really...
Yeah.
I mean,
Everyone likes a comeback.
Really, there's two comebacks. I mean, Matthew McConaughey. I mean, you had him as your performer of the year.
Yeah.
And this movie really, I mean, it helps your theory of breakout performer because, I mean, he really did a great job in that movie. I would check it out. It's not on DVD yet. It comes out DVD, I believe, February 6th. We'll talk about it again, but you should definitely check it out. Dallas Buyers Club for sure.
Right on.
All right.
Yeah, you caught my reference.
There was actually a line in that movie that was in Dazed and Confused. I think he says, check you later in that movie.
Oh, yeah.
Matthew McConaughey says that. I'm like,
check you later,
He's like, check you later. I'm like, oh my God.
Well, you know what time it is. It's time to name
I thought it was clobbering time.
No.
Clobbering time?
No. It's time to name that movie. And for those of you who don't know what this segment is, it's pretty much I name a plot to a movie, and Vic and Brett have the entire show to figure out what the movie is.
Hey,
sometimes just like 20 seconds.
Clean slate. We're starting 0-0.
Starting fresh.
We got to keep track. We got to keep track of this. I mean,
we will. I'll
get
keep
a little
track.
tally board going.
Yes. All right, you guys ready?
For sure.
All right. In the aftermath of the Persian Gulf War, 4 soldiers set out to steal gold that was stolen from Kuwait, but they discovered people who desperately need their help.
That could be a wide range of any movie.
I know. Man.
Gonna have to think about this one.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
This reminds me of that game that we have, Pass the Popcorn.
That's a good game.
Have you ever heard of that game, Vic?
No, but I like popcorn, so
we should play it sometime. It's like you have a card and it gives you like the genre and the plot and the characters and like it's a blast. That's exactly what this segment reminds me of because they give you the plot and you got to guess it. And I have no freaking clue what this one is. I don't think Vic does either. He's looking a little puzzled over there. Well, we have for the rest of the show.
You have the rest of the show to figure it out. So
I'm just gonna Google Persian. We'll see what happens. No,
Jake Gyllenhaal comes
it's
up.
time for the news.
Yeah, it is time for the news, and we are going to talk about a movie that comes out this Friday. Spike Jonze' film Her, which has been getting a lot of attention. I mean, the world premiere was this past October at the New York Film Festival, and ever since then, I mean, it's just been accumulating all kinds of accolades. But it's kind of funny. I mean, Brian's tested this now. I tested it. I found it on the internet. Obviously, the film is about Joaquin Phoenix, who falls in love with his operating system, played or voiced by Scarlett Johansson. And of course, I mean, there's actually, I mean, I said that this is probably how they got the idea for the movie was Siri. I mean, you have an operating system on your phone or any Apple product, and I'm like, that's probably how they got the idea. So apparently, Siri doesn't like the movie Her. You can even ask her, and I will ask her for you right here. Are you Her?
No, you know that it's just a movie, right?
She's pretty smart, dude. I mean,
What?
yeah,
No way.
You can ask her a couple different things, and I won't ask her any more things. But she says like she doesn't portray artificial intelligence.
Yeah, like you can ask her, "Are you Samantha from Her?" And that's what she said.
Yeah. I mean, I thought it was. I mean, I don't think Apple means. I don't think they meant anything. You know, like any disrespect towards the film or whatever. Or the portrayal of artificial intelligence. I just think it's kind of a fun way to, you know, give Siri's opinion, because Siri, she has, I mean, you can literally ask Siri anything and she'll answer it. She has to be up to date. She needs to know everything, and she needs to have an opinion about other artificial intelligence that are being portrayed in movies. So, I don't know, I thought that was kind of cool on Apple's part, because obviously they program Siri, so I thought it was kind of cool that they would program her to say that.
You know, it'd be even more cooler of Apple is if they actually changed her voice to
Yeah,
sound like Scarlett Johansson.
Right?
Then I'd be asking Siri things all the time.
Mm-hmm. Things we probably couldn't say on air.
No.
But yeah, I don't know. Give it a try if you've got an Apple product. You can just ask her about, just say, are you Her? Or something along those lines of the movie. It's kind of interesting, kind of cool. But yeah. But we are going to continue on with the movie Her, because, you know, usually, we never really talked about, like, reviews before, but I had a friend send me a complete review on the movie Her, because it does come out this Friday, and it was in select theaters, but apparently it's going to get its wide release, but it's not going to be in here in Manteca, so that doesn't count as a wide release for me, which is kind of disappointing.
It's going to be in Modesto, so as long as it's in this area to where we can watch it,
Yeah.
I'm fine with it.
But yeah, so some people have already seen the film. I mean, other than people who went to film festivals and saw the movie. But I had a friend who, I mean, it's pretty, I mean, when people are going to travel, are willing to travel great distances just to watch a movie, that's got to say something about the movie.
I've done that once.
What movie was that?
There Will Be Blood.
Where did you go?
I don't remember. It's been a while.
That was a good movie, though. It was worth
It was an awesome movie.
But he wrote us, he kindly wrote a review. I went to high school with him. His name is Brandon Uplinger. You can follow him on Twitter at BitchBoyBrandon. Very interesting Twitter handle. I agree. Bitch
You know,
boy Brandon.
if he's willing to do reviews for us every week, then he could be an actual crew member of Movie Talk.
All right. Well, you put it out there. If he wants to be a crew member.
If he does a review every week, then he can definitely be a crew member.
All right. Well, he wrote a review for Her. He said, Her is a beautiful adaptation of a slightly more modern take on love, where falling for a voice is acceptable and may be a bit shameful, but Phoenix doesn't mind. Where someone may be lost after divorce, Scarlett's kindness and her attention to details give him the feeling that someone cares. Someone's listening, and it may not be right, but it's what we need. As you stick with Joaquin through his lonely journey, you get where both hearts are coming from. Where it may be weird to love an artificial intelligence, you don't care because he's happy and you're rooting for him from the start. And as the film begins to end, you can't help but feel the same as he does. But overall, Spike Jonze presents a spectacular universe, and Phoenix brings a likability that complements the film perfectly.
He wrote that?
Yeah. I even told him, I'm like,
That actually sounds like a film critic's review.
Exactly. So I told him, I said, if he wants to write more reviews for us, I'll give him some movie. I mean, depending on if, like, I don't know if he's going to see, like, Lone Survivor or The Legend of Hercules or whatever, but movies that are new releases, I mean, if he wants to write reviews for us, then sure. I mean, because that was pretty good. But, I mean, this movie, it's like I said, it's gained a lot of attention from critics, people, and, you know, just the whole award thing. I mean, Spike Jonze never disappoints me, ever. He's one of my favorite filmmakers.
And one of the things I love about like this movie in particular, and I haven't seen it yet, but I know I'm going to love it, is it's something that's different from everything else. It stands out.
Exactly.
It's the first of its kind.
And you don't even have to watch the movie to understand the message. Like I told you guys, I mean, it's like you don't have to, you know, see someone physically to fall in love with them. You can just fall in love with somebody.
It's all about personality.
Exactly.
It's what's on the inside that
But sadly, a lot of people don't quite understand that message because
And I think after people see this movie, they will understand that because
Hopefully, I mean, I'm sure they'll like reach a few people, but like, there's a lot of people that I know where it like they go see this movie and they still like the message like will be right in front of them and it'll be a complete mess.
Well, I mean, that's alluding back to what I was saying earlier. Like, people don't know a good movie when it's, right in front of them. Or, I mean, you could watch a movie and not get the message. If people just watch a movie for entertainment. I watch a movie to understand what the point of telling the story was. Yeah. And I haven't even watched the movie yet, and I already love the movie just because of what it's telling.
Just the concept of it, basically.
Yeah. And there's like so many different concepts. Like, you can pop in any movie. Like, honestly, you have a life problem, you can pop any movie and like your problem will be solved. Mm-hmm. All life's riddles can be answered in the movies if you really search hard enough.
But nevertheless, thank you, Brennan, for the review.
Yes, you're hired.
You're hired. Yeah.
Yeah, that was actually really good.
Yeah.
It sounded.
It sounded professional.
Yeah, it sounded really good.
Yeah.
Well, normally, Brett, you're the one that brings the death news, if you will.
Do I? Do I usually bring up the death?
You usually do.
You usually do.
I'm sorry for all the heartache
My heart
that I bring you guys.
I know.
This one's actually kind of stings me a little
This
bit.
one-
I love the show.
Yeah, this one I kind of felt like, because I used to watch this show all the time. Actor James LaRue Avery Sr., who achieved acclaim for playing Will Smith's uncle, Uncle Phil, in The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, actually passed away last year on New Year's Eve.
It's weird that you can say last year.
Yeah, he passed away at the age of 68 years old due to complications from an open heart surgery. So,
That's wow.
Yeah, honestly, the first thing I thought, like, when I heard him pass away, and like, I don't know if this kind of messed up with me, but I thought of the actor that played Carlton.
Just
because of the way he actually portrayed Carlton, where he would just like cry, like
throwing out jazz
yeah
out the front door as always.
Yeah,
but that's pretty sad, man.
Well, I mean,
and you said they were talking about doing like a show in his honor or something.
Picture.
I think it was fake.
Yeah.
I mean, I heard people say, yeah, this is fake, but yeah, I saw a screenshot of Will Smith, who he was talking with NBC through direct message on Twitter, saying that if they can get 300,000 retweets, that people would watch the reunion show, that they would do it. But like I said, I think it was fake. But
honestly, I would watch it. Like you could literally do it like a special Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, where like they come in like for the funeral or whatever, like his pretend character. I would watch that.
I think a lot of people would.
Yeah, I would too. But speaking of Carlton, like you were saying, Alfonso Ribeiro tweeted, "I'm deeply saddened to say that James Avery has passed away. He was a second father to me. I will miss him greatly." I think we all will. So
yeah, I mean, it's terrible too. I mean, just right after Christmas, getting ready to start a new year. Yeah, I mean, that's
he did a lot more stuff than just Fresh Prince. So
yeah,
he was actually a well-trained actor, well respected too. So
yeah, you will be missed.
Such a shame.
And unfortunately, that's not all we talk about death, but we'll talk about more later in the show.
Well, we're gonna shift things to television. We're gonna talk about The Tonight Show.
Yes, The Tonight Show.
It's been
Jay Leno.
Yeah, it's been a while since we brought this up. Last time we actually mentioned this on our show, it was Conan O'Brien that was gonna be taking over for Jay Leno,
which I would have loved.
Well, I did love until he was kind of basically forced to leave, but. Obviously, everyone knows that Jimmy Fallon's not going to be taking over the Tonight Show next month, and they actually had a promo this week. Nice, it's a nice promo. You guys should check it out. But Jay Leno going to be leaving this time
for realsies.
For realsies.
For realsies.
Are you sure?
Yeah,
that's what he said last time.
He's not going to have a show before the Tonight Show. But yeah. The Tonight Show was previously hosted by Steve Allen, which was from 1954 to 1957, Jack Parr from 1957 to 1962, Johnny Carson from 62 to 92, Jay Leno from 92 to 2009, and then 2010 to present, and then Conan O'Brien had one year from 2009 to 2010.
It was a whole year?
Yeah.
He
had a whole year.
Yeah, that flew by for sure.
But Jimmy Fallon, what do you guys think about Jimmy Fallon being the new host of The Tonight Show?
You want to go first, Vic? Because I could talk for days about this one.
I mean, the only time I really watch Jimmy Fallon is because of the guest. Whereas, on Conan, I'll just watch Conan because I think Conan's funny. Same with, I actually like Letterman way more than I like Leno, too. Mm-hmm. I mean, I guess we'll just give it a try, see how it goes.
Yeah,
it could go either way, so.
See, when it comes to late night talk show hosts, for me it goes Conan O'Brien, Jay Leno, David Letterman, and then Jimmy Fallon. I have nothing against Jimmy Fallon. really. But I mean, when he was an actor, I mean, I guess I don't know.
Taxi.
Yeah,
Clean
Taxi.
People.
I mean, to me the movie that I liked best of his was Fever Pitch.
Yeah, I was watching that earlier.
But I never really cared for him as an actor, and I don't really care for him as a talk show host. I think his show was probably the least watched. I don't know as terms as ratings go, but for him to take over the Tonight Show, such a historic show, I don't know if he's the right guy, but I'm sure. I mean, he's been doing the talk show thing for a while now, so I'm sure he's got obviously credentials for it. So, best of luck to Jimmy Fallon.
Oh yeah, Jay Leno has done the Tonight Show for 22 years.
Wow,
Yeah,
22
hard
years.
hard to imagine, 22 years. There is actually going to be a change in the Tonight Show, though, with Jimmy Fallon taking over. The Tonight Show will actually be returning to its original home in 30 Rock in New York.
Wow.
And will be executive produced by Emmy Award winner Lauren Michaels, who's obviously known for Saturday Night Live and 30 Rock. So that's a big change.
Yeah, it is a big change. I didn't expect that, really. It's just going to, I mean, it's going to be hard, I mean, especially for Jimmy Fallon, to fill the shoes of Jay Leno, who's done it for so long and is, when it comes to talk show hosts, is so iconic. So, I mean, I don't know. He's got a tough task ahead of him. So.
I don't know. Honestly, like, back then when Jay Leno was doing the Tonight Show and Conan O'Brien was doing his show that Jimmy Fallon's doing now, like, I was watching them all the time. And now, like, because of the whole incident after, like, Conan O'Brien left the Tonight Show, like, I haven't really watched a whole lot. Like, maybe every once in a while I'll watch, actually, like, Jimmy Kimmel.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about Jimmy Kimmel.
But I don't know. I haven't really watched a lot of the Jay Leno show as much as I used to. And then Conan O'Brien, like, every now and then I'll catch it. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, Conan O'Brien's my favorite.
Yeah, he's mine as well.
I love Conan O'Brien. Then it'd have to be Jimmy Fallon. Or not Jimmy Fallon, but
Jimmy Kimmel.
Jimmy Kimmel.
Yeah, I forgot about Jimmy Kimmel.
Jimmy Kimmel's got some funny stuff.
Yeah, I like Jimmy Kimmel as well.
Forget about Last Call with Carson Daly.
Yes, Carson Daly.
I don't, like, honestly, like, I've never been able to watch his show. Like, the only show I actually was able to watch of Carson Daly was the
TRO.
Total Request Live. And after that ended, I was like, all right, you're done.
And then doesn't
Craig something?
Craig Ferguson, yeah, he's a good
Craig
one.
something
Like,
like
I like him.
Alec Baldwin do a Tonight Show, like a late night show now? I think he does. George Lopez, I think, did one for a while.
did. I used to watch that one all the
He's
time.
no longer doing it, but yeah,
Alec Baldwin's been doing one.
Yeah, he's got one coming up. I'm not gonna watch that for the life of me.
I used to watch George Lopez all the time.
I thought he was already doing it because I think
he might be doing it. I don't
because
know.
they suspended his show for 1 week for something he did. I can't remember what he did.
Yeah, I'm not surprised. He probably called his daughter a pig again.
Probably something, or he called them a pig. I don't know, but yeah,
Pigs.
bunch of talk show dudes, but definitely Jay Leno. When somebody like that retires, it's gonna be
What's
hard
he gonna do?
to
Just
fill.
drive all his thousands of cars that he has?
I guess.
Motorcycles and whatnot.
He's going to be like, yeah, he's gonna have a nice retirement.
Yeah.
He's very, very wealthy. But I mentioned Dallas Buyers Club earlier in the show that I'd watched it, and there was a certain person who said Matthew McConaughey is going to get an Oscar one way or another this year. The Hollywood Reporter reported that Academy Award winner Liza Minnelli, apparently she's a pretty big admirer of Matthew McConaughey's work in Dallas Buyers Club, and she showed her support at a special East Coast Academy members luncheon in New York City. And there were dozens of voters who are eligible to submit their suggestions for Oscar nominations. And there was a whole big dinner and everything. And Matthew McConaughey was there, Jared Leto was there, Liza Minnelli was there, and then Liza Minnelli actually told everybody there. This is what she said. She said, "I have nothing to do with this film except that I am a fan of how it was done, of the insight and the way they played these characters. And the fact that you were watching something that wasn't necessarily comfortable, but you could not stop watching. It drew you in, whether you wanted it to or not. And that's magic. That's magic. I mean, the last one that did it for me was On the Waterfront. You, Crazy Matthew, losing all of that weight. It's one thing to lose all that weight, and to look like that, that's harrowing enough. But then to run like you did with a body like that, and Jared, I mean, everything that you did, all of the placements, every single second, I felt wonderful for you, proud of you, and sorry for you all at the same time, which I think only feels for your friends. And Jennifer Garner was great. She was effing great. I don't know what else to say. I haven't seen a movie like that in so long, and I'm proud to be able to tell everybody." And then she talked directly to Matthew McConaughey, and she said, "And honey, if you don't win the Academy Award, I'm giving you mine." which was it's kind of a bold statement there. And I mean, like I said, after watching the movie, I know for a fact that Jared Leto is going to win, like I said, the Academy Award and the Golden Globe. And I mean, Matthew, on the other hand, I mean, he had a very strong performance. I mean, he went through all that trouble to lose the weight for the role. I mean, that's method acting right there. But I mean, yeah, he got nominated for the Golden Globe, and he will be nominated for the Academy Award. But unfortunately, I don't see him winning either one. I mean, if it weren't for the stiff competition he's got this year, sure, he probably would win, but I don't see it happening. But I mean, if he loses like I expect him to, I wonder if Liza Minnelli is actually going to give him her Oscar, because that's kind of crazy.
Like, all right, give me.
I don't know how many Oscars she has. I don't know if she'd be willing to give her one Oscar if she has one Oscar. I don't know. If she's got a couple, then sure, why not?
Scratch off her name and then just, like in the Sharpie, write Matthew McConaughey or something.
Put tape over it.
But I mean, that's kind of impressive that if people are actually if they believe in Matthew McConaughey so much that he will win an Oscar, if they think he's going to win an Oscar, then it makes me kind of rethink our predictions a little bit. Because, I mean, he was really good, but I haven't seen all these other movies, like
he's
12 Years a Slave.
Like,
I haven't seen it.
Since I first seen him, he's come a long way. Because I remember, like, seeing him in, like, movies where I'm just like, okay, this is not that great, but it's not that bad. I mean, like, he did Sahara and
Failure to Launch.
Failure to Launch. Like, all these just, like, romantic movie, like, comedies or action, like, whatever. But, like, he's now getting the roles that he's meant to have.
Straight drama.
Yeah, straight drama. Like, he's climbing. He's, like, after this, like, from the movies he's done this year, he's definitely, in my book, an A-list actor now.
Yeah, definitely.
But last year, it's still funny saying last
Yeah.
year, but
2013,
2013, it was a lot of great movies came out too, you know, because we're always looking forward to like 2015 with all the movies coming out.
Yeah.
But Out of the Furnace, Gravity, you know, just a bunch of great acting.
Yeah, there really was.
Straight out. So it was a great year.
Yeah, 2013 and 2013 in a whole, it was I forgot to mention this on the show last week. It was the best, like, overall domestic box office. It was the most successful year in cinema history. It grossed the most money out of any year in ever. So yeah, I mean, it was just a great year for cinema. We saw a lot of great acting. Matthew McConaughey was definitely one of them. And a couple months when the Academy Awards rolls around, we got the Golden Globes this Sunday. So I mean, we'll see what happens. But I definitely think he deserves the nomination. He had a great performance for sure.
Yes.
But it is now time for this week's edition of
Vic's Pick.
Oh man, the things that go on behind the scenes, if you will,
Right.
ridiculous. Well, I did post a picture like I usually do on Facebook and Twitter. This time, nobody actually commented on it,
I just don't think
I don't
anybody
think
know he got it right.
which
Yeah.
I got used to. I kind of like the little like, hey, I know what this is.
Yeah.
But my buddy Sean Ambler, all the way from the UK,
He's a
He's like our
diehard fan.
He's like our number one fan.
I brought
Yeah.
him over, and no, I'm just kidding. But
Yeah.
thanks for all the support, Sean, of course. But this movie is 2009's horror drama, The Haunting in Connecticut.
Oh,
okay.
Oh yeah, you guys remember.
damn! I would have.
You guys remember?
Yeah,
It's 92
actually been
minutes
a long
long.
time since I've seen that.
Who isn't a Hemsworth in that movie? I'm thinking of the wrong movie.
You're thinking of the
I
wrong
think-
movie.
Thinking about something else.
Am I?
Yeah.
This is directed by Peter Cornwell, starring Virginia Madsen, Elias Koteas, Kyle Gallner, and Martin Donovan, who's actually on Weeds, or at least like in the early season of Weeds. The movie's about after a family is forced to relocate for their son's health, things take a dark turn when shocking paranormal events reveal that their new home is a former mortuary with a sordid past. And man, I remember seeing this movie, a few years ago, and it was pretty good.
I've never seen it.
The Haunting
in
different.
Connecticut.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a little different.
It's not a bad movie.
It's not your typical. I mean, yeah, there's some elements of like, oh yeah, horror movie kind of thing, but this is actually the first horror movie that I've actually done. I mean, I've done like comedy horrors like Slither and stuff and Reanimator, but this is the first one that's actually a horror movie, and you're either gonna like it or you're gonna hate it. It's one of those movies because IMDb has it at a 5.8 out of 10. Rotten Tomatoes, 17% of critics, I should say, liked it, and 46% of users liked it. Fortunately, the production budget is actually unknown. It's just kind of estimated at about $20 to $40 million.
Jesus.
Yeah, so Not, I mean, now, like Bill and Ted, they want, what was it, like $500 million to be there. So this movie was only done with 20 to 40 million. The box office overall was 77.5 million. Made 55.4 domestically and 22.1 foreign. Debuted at number 2 when it first came out. Debuted at number 2. But number 3 was Knowing, speaking of Nicolas Cage.
Yeah, Nicolas Cage, yeah.
Go figure. We didn't even plan that. It just kind of happened. So.
That was actually not a bad movie, though. I actually liked that movie.
That's one where he
Probably
knows,
his last movie I liked.
I haven't really seen a movie since then.
The end of
Because he's not been in any movie.
The Sorcerer's Apprentice, man.
I never saw that.
Yeah.
Was that Disney?
I see that and
I saw it in theaters.
I could not stop laughing.
Wasn't that a Disney movie? I want to say
so,
it was.
With Jay Baruchel or
Jay Baruchel.
That's why I
Yeah,
watched it, 'cause I
Baruchel.
like Jay Baruchel a lot. Number 2, of course, was The Haunting in Connecticut. $23 million. Knowing made 14.7. The number 1 movie for that weekend of March 27th to the 29th was Monsters vs. Aliens.
Wow.
$59.3
That
million.
was a good one. I enjoyed that one.
Is that the
It's monsters, and then there's aliens,
okay?
and then they versus.
I got no. What? It was an animation film, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
That's the one that took place in Modesto. The movie took place in Modesto.
Yes.
Swear.
Yes.
Yeah.
Modesto,
Yes.
California. Like
Yeah. Wasn't Seth Rogen a voice in that movie?
Yes, he was the
Awesome.
green blob.
And Paul Rudd, I want to say. Maybe that one's wrong.
Paul Rudd, I don't remember, but Seth.
Yeah,
Green,
the
or
movie.
Not Seth Green, but Seth
The movie
Rogen.
takes place in Modesto. Swear to
now,
God.
now we gotta watch it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Couple fun movie facts from this awesome movie. The film is PG-13. I thought it was interesting because normally horror movies are
Or
usually
rated R.
Yeah.
rated R. Of course, the rating doesn't necessarily make a movie, so it's not gonna affect your viewing of it. Debuted in the number 1 position on the DVD and Blu-ray charts with 1.5 million units sold. So, sold pretty well. Although the film states that the house was destroyed in a fire and rebuilt, there was never a fire, and the original house still stands today.
Wow. Creepy.
Yeah, especially old mortuary kind of
Yeah.
crematory and whatnot. It's pretty interesting.
Led to a sequel too.
Which I haven't seen. I don't know if I
haven't
want to
either.
see it.
You probably don't.
I probably don't want to see it. But
Chad Michael Murray's in it.
Yeah,
Chad
you
Michael-
definitely
yeah,
don't.
yeah.
I'm sure that was a straight deep.
Oh my God! And actually, an actress that I will be talking about later in this show is actually in this movie as well. Yeah, Katie Sackhoff is in this film.
Katie Sackhoff.
Katie Sackhoff.
Nice.
But go ahead and check it out. It is on Netflix. I actually almost changed my Twitter name to I Hate Netflix. Or I Hate Netflix, but I still use it. But yeah, so go ahead and check it out. It's on Netflix. 92 minutes. Horror movie. Pretty good.
All right, very good.
Nicely done. A great Vic's pick for this week.
Even though I can never get the picture,
You got one right.
I think yeah.
I
Just,
think we both got one.
I'm
right.
getting
Was it
got it.
Boondocks? Was it Boondocks?
no, I got Boondocks. I got Eternal Sunshine,
Yeah, we
Jingle
got-
All the
oh,
Way.
yeah, we've had
I've
more
got
than-
a few.
Okay, yeah, we
You
both
got a
did get
couple.
a few.
You got in a couple.
I think
So-
you did Resident Evil once too.
No.
No,
You didn't do that one?
Nope.
I don't know. I think those are the only three I've ever gotten.
Yeah, I think that's the
Resident
same
Evil?
three that I got too.
I mean, I probably would do Resident Evil because I like
I
the
thought
movies, but
I might have been thinking of something else.
You might have just saw another picture somewhere.
Probably.
Brian's getting a little crazy over here.
I am getting a little crazy. Before we do take a break, I do actually want to give a special thank you for Sean Ambler.
Sean Ambler, yeah.
Sean.
He literally is our number one fan.
Yeah,
Like,
he really is.
I swear, like every week, after I post like our show, not only do I see Vic's posting the show, but Sean Ambler also posts our show.
Yeah.
Which I mean, that's incredible.
Yeah, doesn't have to do that. He doesn't have to do that.
do it. He does this on his own free will.
I kind of paid him. No,
You paying him under the
I
table,
probably should.
and you're not paying me.
Wow.
I gave you $5 last week, sir.
Yes.
It was actually a couple weeks ago.
I know.
Actually, I'm going to be doing that here soon.
Oh, it's all good.
With all of his, we're gonna get a lot.
No, I'm
more.
actually going to be doing a lot more. I'll discuss it off air, but we're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, some weekly film fun facts from Brett. So
Thanks, Sean.
do not go away.
Apps.
And we are back.
All right, everybody. It's time for this week's edition of Weekly Film Facts. The first facts of 2014. I got 3 for you here today. It would take over 9 million balloons to lift your house off the ground, like in the Disney animated film Up. 9 million.
It's a good movie.
Good luck blowing up all those balloons if you want to try it.
You have a better shot of tying up balloons to a lawn chair.
I don't know how many that would take. Probably not a lot.
I've seen that happen, though. I've seen
To a
videos of people-
lawn chair?
Yeah, people doing it.
Did it look like a lot of balloons?
It was a lot of balloons.
Yeah, I don't know how many it would take. I mean, I don't know how. I mean, it's crazy. I'm not even going to get into it right now. The least.
Yeah, that could be a whole podcast episode.
Yeah, it really could.
Science.
The least successful Harry Potter movie, which was The Prisoner of Azkaban, earned about $90 million more than the most successful Twilight movie. Pretty sad. for Twilight's sake, that the least successful Harry Potter movies, which there was 8.
Yeah, like give or take 8.
Yeah, because there was 6, and then they split the final book into 2. So yeah, I think that's 8. That's pretty sad for Twilight. Sorry, that pretty much sums up their entire little trilogy they had. It wasn't even a trilogy; it was a franchise because they split the last book into 2 as well. Using your roommate's or friend's Netflix account to watch movies is a federal crime. I knew this, and if you didn't know that, it is a federal crime. Don't do it. Don't do it. But I know a lot of people who do it. A lot.
I'm sure you do it too.
Why would I do it? Dad has an account. I use that account. I'm sure if it says your roommate, but I'm sure if you had your roommate's permission, or if you did it without them knowing, then it's a federal crime. But if the person knows, it's not. How can it be a federal crime if they're giving you permission? You know what I'm saying? I don't know. There's got to be some ins and outs on that.
I wouldn't trust him even if he gave me permission, because if I really like made the person mad, they could have been like, I didn't give you permission, you're going to jail.
Yeah, that's true. If you
I like how you said that. That's true.
If you screw somebody over and then they say, and the cops come knocking at your door saying, okay, what's up with your Netflix account? And they said, I'm mad at you right now. I didn't say you can have permission to use my Netflix account. Then you go to jail. So yeah, you should just not do it.
And then you get screwed.
Yeah, then you go to jail for I don't know how much time you would do for that sort of crime, but it's a federal crime.
If you can't do the time, don't do the crime.
Exactly. There you go. But that is the weekly film facts for this week, y'all.
And that was brought to you by Happy Juice.
And we forgot about this segment last week.
Brett forgot about the segment. I was
apparently everybody else,
but I didn't want to say it because the show was already long enough as it was. We were trying to hurry up and get to the countdown.
Apparently, you forgot as well.
No, I knew. I saw.
Then you could have snuck it in there. I mean, you had the papers in front of you.
I could have snuck it in, but I didn't because I wanted to make for the countdown of New Year's.
Oh boy!
But you just totally forgot it on our list of the show completely.
Okay, think about all the things.
And it's one of the favorite segments on the show that people say.
Think about all the things that happened last week where my computer died. I lost all my stuff. I had to retype it with like an hour to go. The microphone problem. I mean,
there's no excuses.
No,
because
pressure was on me.
But because of all that,
yeah,
I'm bringing 3 unscripted movie scenes this week.
Not one.
Not one, 2. Not 2, but 3. 3 of them. 3's a charm.
Yes.
And all of them are comedy movies.
Nice.
Comedy special.
It's a comedy special of unscripted movie scenes. And the first one is from Superbad.
Awesome.
I like it. Go ahead.
The semen conversation between the cops and Mick Levin was almost entirely improvised and ended up being almost 4 minutes long, but it was cut down to just 1 minute for the finished product of the film.
Dude, that does not surprise me at all. I mean, Seth Rogen wrote the movie. Obviously, he was in the scene, so he could go on for days. I'm sure he can improvise an entire movie if he wanted to. It makes me
want to watch this movie now.
It does.
Yes. You should buy that on Blu-ray. The second movie is from Brett's favorite movie, from what I was told back then. Oh, my God. Borat.
Very nice.
Yes.
Borat.
Borat explains to a group of feminists that there is actual scientific proof that women have a brain the size of a squirrel and are clearly inferior to men. This entire scene was improvised.
I feel like that entire movie was improvised.
Probably was.
I mean, he's got the ability to do it. I mean, he just really gets into his role.
But speaking of Borat, Sacha Baron Cohen, he's in Anchorman.
Is he?
He does. He's one of the cameos. It took me a minute to realize who it was, but he's pretty funny in it too.
Wow, I didn't hear about that cameo.
Some of the things he does, I swear to God.
He's like a chameleon.
Okay, no, Borat was actually his best movie where he did you know what I'm talking.
Yeah, you told me what your favorite scene was too.
What scene was that?
The mankini.
The mankini? No, what scene are you talking about?
How his penis talked.
That's not Borat. That was Bruno.
That's Bruno.
Oh, that's right.
Okay.
Yeah, you said that was your favorite scene.
What's that?
Yeah, that was my favorite scene. No. I went to go watch that movie with my dad, and I was 15. The worst mistake ever made was to see that movie in general, but to see it with my dad and see a talking penis and sitting next to my dad while that's happening, it was just terrible.
I don't know what it is with him and his freaking penis, because like he was in an episode of Eastbound and Down and he fucking just like, hey.
I don't know. I went
with my cousin to go see Bruno, and we walked out. We were like, "What did we just see?" Like, it was like an adventure that you had no idea you were getting into.
Yeah, I actually.
It was still kind of funny though. It
Yeah,
was so funny.
before I knew what was in the movie, I wanted to see the movie. It was my idea to see the movie, and then afterwards, I'm like, that was just fucked up.
Yeah,
Milk
see,
was a
I
bad
watched
choice.
his last one where he was playing the Great Dictator or whatever. I can't remember. I'm sure that's what
It was called The Dictator.
Yeah, The Dictator.
It was alright.
Yeah,
never
it was
saw it.
okay, but like, oh my god.
He's always trying to kill people, but no one actually ever dies.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
He tried to kill a goat too, or something. I don't know.
The final unscripted
Yeah, the final
scene.
one, and this one I didn't know, and I'm like amazed, but a cult classic,
Lay it on us.
Animal House. The scene where John Belushi says, "See if you can guess what I am now," before stuffing a creamy white dessert into his mouth and spitting it out as he's sewing up co-heads. I'm a zit. Get it? The entire scene was actually completely improvised, and the disgusted reactions of the cast are genuine because they had no idea what Belushi was going to do.
Wow.
A classic scene in the movie.
Aren't we always talking about classic scenes that they were all improvised? The classic scenes, all the classic scenes were improvised. I don't get it. Brilliant actors right
Yes.
there. It's crazy.
We miss you, John Belushi.
Do a good job, Emil Hirsch, please, for everybody. That was some
That was
good
the unscripted movie
unscripted. That was some
scenes.
good ones.
Of the week.
I'm sorry we
off with the
forgot.
bang.
That made up for it.
Yes, it did. But now it is now time for Trailer of the Week. And yeah, this one's a little kind of out of left field, I guess you can say.
You're doing like that Birdman like hand rope thing. You're like,
No, I was about ready to
The
do the
CM
CM
Punk?
Punk thing.
There you go.
I do that all the time to crack my wrists.
I can't do that.
But
I don't want it. I mean, don't want to do it.
this movie reminds me a lot of Bad Santa. Like, it has the same type of mentality to it. The movie I'm talking about is Bad Words, which stars Jason Bateman, and he also directs the movie.
mm-hmm.
But it's pretty much almost identical to the characters from Bad Santa. It's a guy who's pretty much like just foul mouth, disgruntled, whatever, and a kid. It stars Jason Bateman as Guy Tribbley, a 40-year-old who finds a loophole in the rules of the Golden Gill National Spelling Bee and decides to cause trouble by hijacking the competition. Contest officials, outraged parents, and over-ambitious 8th graders are no match for Guy as he ruthlessly crushes their dream of victory and fame. As a reporter attempts to discover his true motivation, Guy finds himself forging an unlikely alliance with a competitor, awkward 10-year-old Shatanya, who is completely unfazed by Guy's take-no-prisoner approach to life.
Shatanya is also a little boy.
Yes,
Yes.
it is a boy. The movie comes out March 21st, 2014. It is rated R.
We saw the Red Band trailer too,
Yes.
and it was hilarious. I want to see what the regular one looks like. You know,
It's not out yet. It's just Red
It's just
Band.
Red Band?
It's just Red Band right now.
Oh,
Well, that's the one that you will be seeing on our Twitter and Facebook account. So
Yes.
enjoy.
Usually the Red Band is better anyways.
Yeah, it is.
But that's the trailer of the week, Bad Words. And that's probably, I think, the first one we've had where it's just, like, raunchy.
I was surprised that actually I'm not the biggest Jason Bateman fan, but this one he might win me over with this one. I don't know why I don't like him. I don't know.
Yeah, back then I never was a fan of Jason Bateman ever since, like, he took over Teen Wolf. But, like, over the years with his comedy movies, he's grown on me.
Yeah, I think he's made a little bit of a slight. I want to say comeback. I don't know what I would call it.
He's been in so many movies. when I think
Horrible
about
Bosses.
Yes.
Identity Thief. I'm drawing
it.
blanks.
Extract.
He was in Juno.
Yeah, Juno.
He's been in a lot. He's been here and there.
He was in Paul as well.
Paul, that's right.
Yes.
That's the one I was thinking of. But I Red Band trailers are. I don't know where that came from or where it started. I love
But I'm
Red
glad
Band
it
trailers.
happened.
I even told you guys. I said they should just put a Red Band trailer in like a PG or G movie just to see what happens, what the reaction.
Somebody would get sued.
They would get sued. I mean, I know it would never happen, and I know they would get in huge trouble if they
I
did
honestly,
it. I
like-
want to see the kids' reactions. I want to see if they would laugh or something. I
I'd
don't.
love to see it too.
It's intriguing. I want to see.
I'm always like thrilled when like we're in the theater and you see a Red Band trailer about ready to play. I'm like, all right.
I'm always like, no way.
Yeah, I'm like, sweet.
You gave the reference to Fight Club, the Tyler Durden with the what was it, a penis
Yeah,
or
giant-
a porn
it
scene?
was a giant penis.
I thought it was a porn scene, or was it a penis? from Fight Club. I
No,
can't remember.
If you watch the movie correctly, like he
Correctly?
explains it- yeah.
If you sit
If
there
you see-
correctly,
if you watch the scene and pay attention to it, he actually even explains that it's a big giant penis.
I've seen the movie. I just couldn't remember if it was a penis or like a sex. I can't remember. Apparently, you just answered it for me, but I didn't know I could watch a movie
If you even watch the
incorrectly.
end of the credits too of that, it shows.
Yeah, they should
So-
just do that though.
wait, so how do you watch a movie correctly, Brian? I want to know.
You pay attention.
I guess.
Do you not do that, Brett?
No, I always. I'm like, you should have seen me today when I was watching the Spectacular Now in Dallas Buyers Club. I was, because I'm watching it on my laptop. I was like,
Sitting Indian style.
I wasn't sitting Indian style, but I mean,
Face was like close to the screen.
yeah, it was. I swear to God, I'm not like laying. I'm not like relaxing, and I was like up in the
Yeah,
screen.
if you
I'm
do
paying
that,
attention. I want to
You
get in
do
the
that a lot,
movie.
You might as well get like the cords to like hook up your computer to the TV.
I would. I think Dad has them, but it's too much work. It really is. You have like so many cords and inputs and outputs, and I'm like, screw it, dude. I'll just watch it on my laptop. No big deal. But yeah, I don't know. Red Band trailers are the bee's knees for sure.
The cat's pajamas.
The cat's pajamas. I don't know what other.
Cat's meow.
The cat's meow.
I want you to meow. Now I want you to bark. That's from Anchorman 2.
Is it? I figure
it's-
that's what. Yeah.
He's doing nothing but quotes in Anchorman 2 tonight.
That's all I've been. That and then Bradley Cooper in American Hustle, where he's like, I don't know.
Did you see it?
No, but I've seen the trailer a bunch of times, and
See the movie. It's
I'm trying.
wonderful.
Awesome.
I want to. Especially Jennifer Lawrence. I actually watched, what was it, House at the End of the Street?
Yeah.
I saw that one. I was kind of doing all my
I've
work
worked
for the.
Lane's playbook here in the next day or two.
I think that's the one that has a Hemsworth in it. I think. Maybe I'm
Yeah,
wrong.
yeah,
I think I'm
yeah.
still wrong.
I don't remember which Hemsworth, but I'm sure. I think you might be right.
One of the Hemsworths was in some sort of horror movie.
I just kind of watched it when I was doing all the, like all the new stuff, and then paid attention to Jennifer Lawrence running around. So.
Yeah, of course.
But speaking of the news,
Yeah,
back to
speaking
it.
of the news,
Back to it.
again,
Let's get some sad
some
news.
sad news. This
Yeah,
is
all
probably.
sad stuff today.
What's your deal, Vic?
I don't know, man.
You're breaking my heart with this.
I'm sorry. But CNN reported that Alicia Rhett, who had been one of the oldest surviving cast members of the classic film Gone with the Wind, died Friday in her longtime hometown of Charleston, South Carolina.
Wow, man.
Rhett passed away of natural causes around 5 p.m. that day, surrounded by friends at Bishop Gadsden's
Give it your best shot.
retirement community and she was 98. So she
98.
Frankly, Vic, I do get
Wow.
a damn.
I kind
Yeah.
of wanted to throw that in there at some point, but yeah,
I
I'm glad you did.
had to
I'm
like
glad
change
you
it up
did.
because it would have been kind of messed up if I said don't give a damn.
Right.
Yeah, you gotta.
Yeah, you got it. So, Uncle Phil, Scarlett O'Hara.
Yeah.
So, a lot of
You will be missed.
a lot of icons.
98
Yeah.
though. That's pretty impressive.
That's
I want to
super
know what their
impressive.
secret is to stay that not like to be alive that long.
The movie.
Laughing.
I can't imagine
Laughter.
myself. I can't imagine myself staying being alive to 98.
All right, just to give you an idea, I mean, other than the age of knowing 98's really old, the movie came out in 1939. Actual Civil War veterans attended the premiere to that movie. That's how old the movie is, and that's how obviously old she was.
Right.
That's pretty impressive that she actually lived that long. If I ever live that long, I will be so unhappy. I don't want to. I don't want to live 98. But
But we might have jetpacks by then. Jetpacks, flying cars.
jetpacks?
We
No,
might-
dude. They actually. I mean,
I can see you
20,
already.
45.
You'd be like the old grandpa from South Park. Kill me, Stan! Kill me!
no. I mean, with all the technology that we have and that we're gonna be having in future, they're talking about lifespan will be way longer than. I mean, we could live to be over 110 or some shit, from what I've been hearing.
As long as we can make it to
Here,
2045.
take this pill
So-
and you'll feel younger.
Yeah.
I feel like $1,000,000.
It's crazy.
Do you? Can I have $1 or two?
Well, we're going to talk about Warner Brothers because they've been very successful this past year.
Yeah. Speaking of $1 million, more
Very
like $1
successful.
billion
Yes,
bucks.
they made a lot of money this past year in the box office. They made over $500 million,
This kind of wipes out something I said last week too.
which was
That Disney was the highest earner, making $4 billion, and then this shit comes out and takes it away.
yes. It's a record-breaking year for Warner Bros. Pictures, emerged as the top-grossing studio for 2013, ranking #1 domestic, international, and worldwide market shares. But yeah, Warner Bros. Has crossed the 1 billion mark both domestically and internationally 13 years in a row, another industry record. The studio took in an estimated 1.8 billion at the domestic box office, with 8 films crossing 100 million, including 3 that went on to gross more than 200 million at the international box office. Warner Bros. Set a new studio record of 3.1 billion, marking the 4th consecutive year and the 6th year overall that it has earned more than 2 billion. 10 Warner Brother releases earned more than $1 million internationally, of which 7 grossed more than $2 million, both unprecedented achievements for the studio. In addition, 2 of those films took in more than $300 million, and 2 more crossed the $400 million mark. Whew, that sounds like a math problem.
Yeah, it sounds like a lot of millions.
If a train leaves
Yes.
New York, at
What
this
films? I mean,
Yes, I have the list right
I
here.
know one of them is The Conjuring.
I have the list right here.
I know one of them is.
2 current hits still in theaters are among the studio's highest grossing films for the year: The Hobbit, The Desolation of Smaug.
Schmag.
In partnership with New Line Cinema and Metro MGM Pictures at $659 million worldwide and counting. Gravity
Oh.
at $663 million to date. The summer blockbuster Man of Steel from Warner Brother Pictures and Legendary Pictures were the studio's top grossing release for the year at $668 million globally. Among the other worldwide box office highlights for 2013 for Warner Brothers Pictures are Legendary Pictures' Pacific Rim, which made $411 million. The Hangover Part 3, also in partnership with Legendary, at $362 million. The Great Gatsby, in partnership with Village Roadshow Pictures, was at $351 million. New Line Cinema's The Conjuring with $318, and We're the Millers, also from New Line, at $270 million. And they got an impressive lineup for 2014 so far. The studio's first quarter titles include Her, presently in limited release but coming out this Friday. The Lego Movie, in partnership with Village Roadshow Pictures, slated for a February 7th release.
That's going to make a ton of money. I already know.
Winter's Tale, also with Village Roadshow Pictures on February 14th. And Warner Brothers Pictures and Legendary Pictures 300, Rise of the Empire, due out in March 7th. So they're looking pretty shabby.
All right, if you want to look at the competition here. All right, last week I said Disney was the top earner of 2013. That was obviously before this story came out. Disney, who was in association with Marvel, which we know Marvel is like, they're on top of the world.
Goldmine.
Yeah, $4 billion is what Disney made. This came out, Warner Brothers. All right, now throw out Warner Brothers and Disney. We're looking at Marvel and DC right now. Marvel, obviously, with Disney, $4 billion. When DC, they came out with Man of Steel, which was leading up to Batman vs. Superman, all of these other DC comic books, movies they're going to come out with. DC will be teaming up with Warner Brothers. So the way you have to look at it right now is DC just beat Marvel. That's the way you have to look at it.
It was just Man of Steel.
And it didn't have, I mean, obviously there was no DC movie except for one, Man of Steel, but if you're looking at the studios that are, putting out these movies, that's the way you have to look at it. DC just beat Marvel. I mean, obviously Marvel as a whole, with all the Marvel movies they've made, have beat DC, because there's only been one DC movie.
Yeah, but general overall between
the studios,
the studio movies, Disney and Warner Brothers. Yeah, Warner Brothers. Mm-hmm. They beat him.
Because I mean, the way how Warner Brothers is looking at it. Warner Brothers just beat Disney, who has got Marvel and all these things. So they're pretty proud of what they're doing, and they should be. $5 billion. Wow. $5 billion. Yeah,
I opened my own hotel.
Only I don't know if Vic knows that's from, but that's pretty impressive. That's all I got to say about that. All right,
That's all I have to say about that.
That really is all you have to say, because that's the end of your news, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
I'm sorry.
You guys took everything away from me, so I
No. You came out with your news before I did, so.
Actually, no.
Yeah, you printed your stuff out and you gave it to me, and then I made my stuff. That's how it works.
No, because usually I look on a little Facebook chat, and you guys are calling things left and right.
I just don't sleep half the time. If I'm not at work, I'm usually up doing something. So
I only called.
You called
I called the Siri thing, and then. That was pretty much it.
Yeah, but
I found everything else today.
But all the other stuff, like if it's Batman or Star Wars, I know I can't touch it, so it's not mine. So I'm just like, whatever.
You got Marvel. Marvel.
There was no Marvel really. Though.
That happens. Last week there was no Star Wars.
That's why I don't have anything.
You gotta find stuff.
I did try to find stuff. There was a slow week.
I found stuff.
Everything else that was here, you guys already took. So
there were some stories that I didn't even put in there that you could have had, like Michael Bay. Did you see his big? He had like an embarrassing moment or whatever. He was doing like a.
We have one of those at least once a show, so it's fine.
Yeah. No. Michael Bay was doing. He was like talking on stage for some reason. I don't know what it was. I don't know what he's talking about. But he was reading like a teleprompter and he couldn't read it or something.
Did he have a Ron Burgundy moment? I'm Ron Burgundy.
No, he didn't.
Michael Bay?
He couldn't read the teleprompter and he was just mumbling on his words and he literally walked off stage. he was introduced 2 minutes before.
Yeah.
Not even 2 minutes, maybe a minute, and then he walked off stage because I don't know, he was embarrassed or something. It was funny. Watch the video. I'll post it. But there's news. You just got to dig. I mean, I didn't
want to dig anymore.
I dug today and I found some stuff.
Sometimes I hold on to stuff just in case for a week. So something that maybe we report today maybe came out like 3 weeks ago or something.
Yeah,
but
that's
we
what I do.
We got to make sure we got the news, man.
See, I'm more about segments. I have segments that are.
Yeah, he's got segments.
I got segments left and right that I haven't even brought to the show yet.
Bring them. It's 2014. Time for some new stuff here. But
Do it.
I mentioned an actress named Kate Sackhoff who was in
The Haunting in Connecticut too.
The Haunting in Connecticut too. Yes.
And boy, is she pretty.
Yeah, she's very good looking for sure. She recently sat down for an interview with Total Film, and she discussed a lot of topics. She discussed Wonder Woman, Harley Quinn, and Star Wars. Okay. This is what she had to say about Wonder Woman. She said, "I'd love to play Wonder Woman. I remember auditioning for the Wonder Woman television show and being told that I wasn't the Wonder Woman type. But if I wanted to play the best friend, I could audition for that. And I remember thinking to myself, you obviously haven't seen my work." When she was asked about Harley Quinn, she said, "I would love to do that. I'm obsessed with Jinx. I would love to play Harley Quinn. I just think it's amazing. I mean, I think I might give away my firstborn to have an opportunity to play Harley Quinn. I love trying to understand the villain and trying to understand the things they do and why they do them. And I've always found her in the Joker, you almost can't understand them." And then finally, what she said about episode 7, she said, "Star Wars meant everything to me growing up. Star Wars was, it was the first time I remember seeing 3 movies that all kind of went together. It was just an amazing final understanding of what a trilogy was. If JJ would listen, I would play a rock in the Star Wars movies." For those unfamiliar with Kate Sackhoff, she was in The Haunting in Connecticut 2. She recently starred in 2013's Riddick with Vin Diesel.
Yeah.
And Brian's a 24 fan, but if you're a 24 fan, she played Dana Walsh in season 8.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, which one of these most likely seems, it's most likely to happen? Because, obviously, there's been talk about Harley Quinn spinoff for a while. Also talks about her being maybe being in one of the sequels to Batman vs. Superman, because they're going to do more.
I could see her possibly being in Star Wars. I would love to see them bring Harley Quinn onto the Batman scene.
Oh, Mr. J.
But I don't know. I could see her definitely playing that part, but I don't see them doing Harley Quinn for quite some time.
Wonder Woman seemed a little less likely.
Yeah, well, yeah.
With the role being casted, but like she said, she auditioned for the TV series, which has been talked about for.
Didn't they actually
quite
cast
a while
somebody too? Like back a few years ago?
Yeah, they did, and then it never came to fruition. So I don't know what happened.
It tanked.
Yeah, they've talked about doing it. Like the whole, they have the. They're starting to trying to do a TV show with Wonder Woman. Still, I don't know what's happening with that, but yeah, episode 7. Everybody pretty much wants to be in episode 7, but she's actually spoke to Abrams about it. There's been few people who have actually personally talked to J.J. Abrams about it, but she did a voice for a character in the Star Wars animation series, The Clone Wars. So she's kind of got some Star Wars ties into her career. So I don't know. I thought it was that's pretty impressive when she's talking about possibly Harley Quinn, Wonder Woman, and then Star Wars. She hasn't really established herself yet so far, but if she were to be in Star Wars or whatever, Harley Quinn,
big step.
And she actually if you look her up on Google or something, she looks like she could totally play Harley Quinn.
Oh yeah,
she looks perfect for it. But yeah, I don't know.
I might have to watch Haunting in Connecticut too now, just to see what she's all about.
I would just watch. I would literally just
her parts.
Just her parts. Yeah.
Prepare to fast forward.
Prepare to fast forward.
Fast forwarding.
But speaking of Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman, all that stuff, thanks to CBS Detroit, we have a few more details about next month's shoot, including the production budget. Do you guys want to take a guess of the production budget for Detroit? Because I reported a few weeks ago. Oh, God. Or Michigan, I guess. Yeah.
It's the biggest in their history.
It's the biggest in their history.
I want to say it's over $1 billion.
$1 billion?
Something. Right
You're
there, yeah.
insane.
Production budget of $1 billion.
I think that would be the biggest.
Are you talking about just in Detroit or in general?
Just in Michigan
for
the
okay.
shoot.
Even in general, that'd probably be the biggest budget in movie history.
Billion? Was Avatar even $1 billion?
No.
Well, then I would say, I would guess maybe.
I'm gonna guess like
And of course, the entire budget is going to be higher when you factor in other locations and post-production.
For Detroit,
so.
I would say
And
roughly
inflation.
around, I don't know, maybe like $2.5 million.
$2.5 million?
$2.5 million?
Yep.
You're crazy.
$2.5 million.
Yeah.
You could not make a movie with.
No,
how
it's
they
just
in
for
Connecticut.
Detroit. It's just for Detroit.
Right, which is Gotham, basically.
The whole film is pretty much filmed in the majority.
In
I'm gonna say
Michigan.
like 500 mil, 400 mil. I don't know, somewhere in there.
Well, Michelle Grinnell, public relations manager for the Michigan Film Office, revealed that the production budget for the Michigan shoot is about $131 million.
$131 million.
The entire budget's going to be higher, like I was mentioning, when you factor in other locations like the Kent Farm and whatnot in post-production. But $131 million for Michigan.
Jeez.
Crazy.
That's going to be crazy. But speaking of still Batman, Superman, Batman on Film source Dr. Detroit is back with another piece of news about the new Batmobile and Batman vs. Superman. He's not revealing if it's going to be like that 1930s Cadillac we were talking about. But he said, I have minor update regarding location shooting in Batman vs. Superman. I was told that location shooting of vehicle chase scenes will not take place until the summer. He went on to say that he is under the impression that other location shootings, including exteriors in addition to studio shootings, could begin as soon as next month, but it hasn't been confirmed yet, apparently, at this time. We thought it was going to start in February.
Yeah.
But I guess it's not, 100% confirmed, which is kind of weird.
Well, because I mean, they brought in Chris Terrio to do screenwrite, some touch-ups.
But they could start doing like
Not only
exterior
that, but
shots or
they're
something.
probably still prepping everything.
So we might have to wait until summer to actually see the Batmobile. But apparently, a picture of Ben Affleck in the Batman suit is coming out soon.
Ooh.
So as soon as we see that, we'll post it, all that stuff.
I mean, there's been sketches. I've seen sketches, but
yeah, it's expected to apparently release very soon, is what they were saying. So, but as far as the Batmobile, it won't be until summer.
damn. I just don't want it to be like an old-fashioned Cadillac. I mean, you can't go from the Tumbler.
Well, you
to
can't
that.
go. He can't go to the Tumbler to
Well, now
like
that
the
he's
TV
older,
Batman car.
Because now that he's older, he doesn't need all that flash.
I guess,
You know.
yeah. He's classy.
He's
I don't know.
I don't know.
It depends on the way the character's written, I guess. I mean, other than the fact that we know that
As
he's
long as it's
weary and
like
been
the
doing it for a
Batman
while.
TV
Yeah.
version, then I'm good.
The suit, like the description of the comic series that they're basing it off, it reminded me of the suit that Batman wears in like the Batman Arkham Asylum games.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So
I
like
don't have a
that
problem with
gray with the
If
black,
it's like that, then yeah.
a little
I'm
bit
cool.
of, maybe like a black cape. But they were saying maybe possibly like a bluish kind, like a
I'd rather go
like
with black.
yeah. So,
I'd go with black.
but as soon as we see Ben Affleck in that Batman suit, I'm gonna pass out.
So
I'll be like, oh my lord.
I think a lot of people might change their minds about Ben Affleck after that comes out.
So we'll have to check it out. Oh, and then for Man of Steel, there's also like little Easter eggs, if you will, about like LexCorp signs and this
Yeah.
and that. When I was watching it the other day, that's what I was watching it for too. Was to kind of keep an eye out.
Mm-hmm.
The satellite towards the end of the fight with Zod, it does say Wayne. It says
Wayne Enterprise, yeah.
So I think he's pissed about that. He might be a little mad. That's why he's like out for
Yeah,
it.
I brought that up on the show. I was
Yeah.
like, he's obviously mad that his like,
Satellites
his satellite
aren't cheap.
came down.
Satellites are not cheap from what
like,
I was
Alfred,
So
I can't watch my Netflix.
nobody can. I can. So we'll figure it out when, once we start seeing stuff. So
Yeah.
can't wait.
Well, we are going to talk about Star Wars, but we're not talking about Episode 7, which is kind of...
It's still Star Wars.
Yeah, it's still Star Wars related, I guess. In a recent interview with AMC Movie Talk, John Schnepp, who was the director of the television series Metalocalypse, has confirmed that we can expect a Boba Fett spin-off.
Nice.
Schnepp quoted, "One of them is Boba Fett. It is, I know for a fact. I will never reveal my source, but it is the one written by Lawrence Kasdan." So, I mean, he says one of them. And we knew that when Disney purchased Lucasfilms that it came with episodes 7, 8, and 9. And we also heard about spin-offs. We heard about Yoda.
Origin stories.
Han Solo, Boba Fett. And, I mean, it's exciting to hear that Lawrence Kasdan, who is currently writing the screenplay for episode 7 with J.J. Abrams, is also going to write Boba Fett. Because he created Boba Fett in The Empire Strikes Back, which he also wrote. So, I mean, I feel like there's no better person to have write a screenplay about Boba Fett than the person that created him.
Yes, we want to know where Boba Fett came from.
Exactly.
We want to know his background.
I mean, you kind of know a little bit because in the prequels, if you will, the episode 2, 3.
Attack of the Clones.
Yeah, they showed him when he was a boy with what was his father?
Django.
Django. Yeah, Django.
Jango Fett.
Django Unchained.
But yeah,
Django
we
Unchained.
only get a snip bit.
Yeah.
We want more.
Yeah, I mean, there's a whole other side of. That's what I like. I mean, Marvel's really.
They're putting things together. Like it's like an extra piece, like of between the movies. Certain characters.
Marvel's the one that really created this whole cinematic universe where they're having all these standalone stories, and now you're seeing other people do it. Like I talked about, like the Universal monster movies, they're talking about doing that, but now Star Wars is doing it with all these origin stories because you have a whole universe to explore in Star Wars. And you've really only explored one aspect of it. Now you're doing all these standalone movies. You're going to see a Yoda movie, a Han Solo movie. And that's just, I mean, that's mind-boggling because just think how much money, I mean, obviously, Episode 7 talking about making like billions of dollars.
Think it is.
Think how much all of them in a whole are going to make. It's going to be insane.
Jabba the Hutt movie.
I was thinking about that. I'm like, I don't know how that one would fare, but
What's that like that little creature that he has like chilling with him? Yeah, that guy. That guy needs its own like
His own
TV
spin-off.
series or something.
That'd be like a short 5-minute film with him just.
yeah.
He just shows up randomly and just like points at people, like Nelson from The Simpsons.
Or like the monkey from Family Guy.
The angry monkey.
Yeah.
I mean,
evil monkey.
what spin-off would you guys want to see? What origin stories? I mean, other than Boba Fett. I mean,
Well,
and Yoda, obviously, Han
I
Solo.
think
But
everybody would want to see like a Darth Maul.
Darth
Maul
Maul
would
would
be
be
sick,
one,
yeah.
definitely, yes.
I'm trying to
Boba Fett, you have Han Solo.
Yeah.
Yoda, obviously. You gotta
Chewbacca.
have Yoda.
Chewbacca.
Yeah, Chewbacca would be a good one.
What about a Lando Calrissian? Like,
Maybe.
Yeah, possibly. I would say R2D2.
That's something that's never really explained. There you go. I've never thought about that one.
R2D2.
And
It's probably the only one that has not ever been brought up. And honestly, I mean, we know where C-3PO came from, but
Yeah.
we don't really know where R2D2 came from.
the Droid Factory.
No, I mean, wow, man.
Like how he got to being
Yeah.
captured.
Yeah,
by the
yeah.
Rebels,
Yeah, like-
basically, and
Obviously,
So-
We just know he's there, but like we don't really know like where he actually came from.
well, I mean, you kind of do in the prequels. It shows it like I can't remember which one it was. It had to have been the first one, obviously, but
Well, yeah, we see.
he helps like with he like destroys
I think
something.
he was the one that was in Anakin's like
And he's like-
ship.
Yeah,
thing.
but they found him before that. I can't remember.
Well, yeah, you see
been a
it
while.
like you see him.
But you don't know where he was before that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. Like,
Yeah.
you saw C-3PO being built.
Yeah.
By Anakin, but you don't know like literally like who built
R2D2.
R2D2
Yeah,
or where he actually came from.
yeah.
That I would be interested in seeing.
That one would be a little more difficult to do. How would you write dialogue for RT?
Subtitle.
Yeah, I don't know.
Subtitle.
I don't know what you do. I mean,
Or just have Cleveland Brown be the voice.
They-
of,
yeah.
You know, like the Family Guy.
can you do a good impersonation of Cleveland Brown?
I don't know. It sounded better.
That wasn't
It
bad.
sounded better. Now.
I can't do that.
I used to do it better, but man, again, me with the death today. I don't know what's going on with this.
How did I forget that?
But of course, we all remember Paul Walker. You know, fortunately passed away last year. So crazy, you know. Still so crazy to see, or say last year, I should say. But we talked about it. Maybe what happens in Fast 7 now. That he's not no longer around. Like, did they kill him off? Did not even show him. You know, we were saying that his brother is going to be playing part of his role.
Yeah.
But the Hollywood Reporter brings word that the current plan is to, quote, retire his character without killing him off.
Which I think is the right move. Respectable.
But now brings up the question, like, how do you retire somebody?
Well, I mean, obviously we knew he was coming back
Right.
with, them bringing Cody Walker into the picture. But, like I said, I mean, obviously with him actually passing away in reality, I think doing that in the film would be disrespectful in a way.
Mm-hmm.
It would, I don't know. I just don't think it'd be right. Retiring the character, I mean, yeah, obviously that's the route they're going. We don't know how they're going to do it, though. In context with the screenplay, we don't know what the story is, how it'll work out. But
Because we don't know, like, what the original plan was anyway.
Yeah.
We kind of have an idea, but, people in movies die all the time, like,
Yeah.
on screen. But How do you retire somebody?
I don't know.
Does he just maybe just drives away?
Yeah, that's
really,
what.
like into the sunset. Maybe?
Yeah, that's what
like
that's what people have been saying. Like maybe he'll just drive into the sunset. I don't know how they'll do it. To be honest with you.
Yeah, that's kind of something they definitely need to figure out and do it with style.
Well, I mean,
The word retire is kind of
yeah
open at the same time, but it doesn't really tell you anything really.
Well, I mean, I don't. Like I said, in context in the screenplay, it'll make sense. I'm sure because they're going to tie up all the loose ends. Then they have to, obviously, but yeah, I don't know how. I mean, it's just you don't know how they'll do it. It makes me curious to see how they originally planned for the film to turn out before this all happened, but I think this is obviously the best way to do it. Kind of sad though, still.
Yes. Hey, you had a lot of sad news this week.
I don't know why, man.
I actually totally forgot. We have one more story. I thought this was the last story.
The gifts keep on coming.
They do. I don't know how I almost forgot this story. It's about Ant-Man.
That's right.
This was a little interesting here. Edgar Wright, he has a blog. All right. A lot of great writers do. And he posted on his blog suggesting that he's still, and obviously, I mean, he's got a little bit longer until the movie comes out, but he's still working on the story Ant-Man, claiming that he's still doing homework. And he included a photo that was taken from an episode of the cartoon Avengers Earth's Mightiest Heroes, and the episode was called "To Steal an Ant-Man." He did a little research done by the fine folks at Coming Soon, revealed that the episode is based on Marvel Premiere number 47, an issue where original Ant-Man Hank Pym has his technology stolen by a criminal named Scott Lang, who uses it to commit crimes. Wright has long addressed the issue of possibly being two Ant-Men, but the suggestion was soon downplayed in favor of various rumors surrounding the film. So it sounds like it's based off a particular Marvel, comic. The movie's gonna be based off a particular one. It's not like an original story. He's adapting it, obviously. But it sounds like, and he's been hinting at it for a while, that there might be more than one Ant-Man in this movie. So, I mean, what it's kind of hinting at is Paul Rudd, who was casted as Ant-Man, is he playing the hero genius Hank Pym, who is the main Ant-Man? Or is he playing the person trying to steal the technology to perform all these crimes, Scott Lang? So he could be playing one of the two. But either way, it sounds like there's going to be more than one Ant-Man. So who is Paul Rudd playing, and if he's based off who he's playing, who's going to be the other Ant-Man? Is what it's getting at, which is
Simon Pegg.
Yeah.
Simon Pegg.
Simon Pegg.
Yeah, I mean I don't know. I never knew much about Ant-Man. I didn't know that there was even the possibility of being more than one. I mean,
So that means Warwick Davis still has a shot.
yeah, Warwick Davis is still in the mix. I mean, I just didn't know. He could be playing either Hank Pym or Scott Lang here. So it didn't really answer much if this is actually true, if there's going to be more than one Ant-Man. It didn't answer who the hell Paul Rudd's playing.
Just another big question mark over our heads.
Marvel keeps
That
doing
just
that
led to
to
more
us.
questions than
Yeah.
answers.
Why?
Like, here's the answer for you, but it's actually a question.
Marvel's
work?
good at that.
They like to mess with you.
So, I mean, obviously they know.
Yes.
I still find it odd that Simon Pegg was at Marvel for a podcast. I really do. I mean, that obviously might have been in the early
Has that
negotiations.
ever been released?
The picture?
Like all the podcast things?
I've never
Is it like a cover? Oh, I'm sure to do a podcast.
It's in Area 51.
I have no freaking clue. I've never heard of a Marvel podcast before, ever in my life. I should Google it because I've never seen them or heard them. But he said he was there for a podcast. He was pointing at a picture of Ant-Man, which I thought was ironic, and he said he was there for a podcast. So he could be in Ant-Man still. I have no clue, but I thought this was interesting and worth reporting because we still don't know what the hell's happening with Ant-Man. But that is the news.
Yes.
I'll leave.
I actually just read a quick rumor on my phone that apparently Bryan Cranston is still
Yeah.
up in the air. Like,
Yeah.
It might even like, it's not confirmed yet, obviously, but he actually may be in this movie already, but it's still not confirmed or anything. But so you're still kind of okay on that theory. Then,
yeah, I mean, once you're, obviously he's been talking with them. If not, it wouldn't have been reported to begin with. But obviously, it went away a little bit. He was doing a Broadway play, and sometimes it is confirmed.
Yeah, I've seen that picture.
Sometimes it is confirmed, but not to the public. It can be confirmed behind closed doors and stuff, but people don't know about it yet. So he could be Lex Luthor right now, for all we know. But yeah, his name's still there. But so is Joaquin Phoenix and The Rock and Bradley Cooper and Terry O'Quinn and fucking Gandhi. I don't know. It's just
Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Stone Cold, yeah.
Why not? So
everyone, Daddy Warbucks, everybody's
Bill
there.
Goldberg.
Bill Goldberg. But that is the news.
Goldberg spearing like Batman or something.
Yeah. You're next! Well, now it's time for the new releases, and we have 3 movies. So it's in 3s this week.
Yeah.
Yeah, they really was.
The first one we're going to talk about is The Legend of Hercules.
Boo.
Boo, this movie. This looks
Boo,
almost
this
as bad.
movie.
This looks almost as bad as 47 Ronin.
Boo.
Yeah. It's the origin story of the mythical Greek hero betrayed by his stepfather, the king, and exiled and sold into slavery. Because of forbidden love, Hercules must use his formidable powers to fight his way back to his rightful kingdom. And it stars Kellen Lutz.
And that is it.
Yeah. No
One-man
really
show.
big names in this film whatsoever. It's all new, young, fresh actors.
Yeah. Well, we are getting the Hercules. We're getting Hercules with The Rock later and Brett Ratner. But
like this Hercules put me to sleep just now.
But one thing I thought I've seen the trailer for it. One thing that they did pretty well was the way they shot the movie to make the actor look freaking huge. He looks like a mad truck in this movie, and obviously he needs to if he's playing Hercules. They shot it well. That I'll give him that. But other than that, it just doesn't look interesting to me at all.
Also coming out this Friday, Her, directed by Spike Jonze, which stars Joaquin Phoenix, Amy Adams, Scarlett Johansson, and Rooney Mara. It's a lonely writer who develops an unlikely relationship with his newly purchased operating system that's designed to meet his every need. Can't wait to see this one.
Yeah, I could talk about it for an entire podcast, but I won't.
And last but not least, we have Lone Survivor, which is directed by Peter Berg and stars Mark Wahlberg, Taylor Kurtz, Emil Hirsch, Ben Foster, and Eric Bana. And it's based on the failed June 28th, 2005 mission Operation Red Wings. 4 members of SEAL Team 10 were tasked with the mission to capture or kill notorious Taliban leader.
Yeah, when I watched the trailer, it's every time we go to the movies, it's always one of the trailers.
It's not just in the movies now. I watched a documentary about it on TV.
Yeah, it's everywhere. Obviously based on a true story. There's a book about it and everything. And great cast. Peter Berg is great filmmaker. And I've been hearing comparisons to Saving Private Ryan, which is that's a pretty bold statement when you compare it to a great movie like Saving Private Ryan. So it's definitely got my attention.
It's definitely a movie I want to see besides as well as Her.
Yeah.
2 movies coming out this week that I want to see, so that's pretty good.
Although, unfortunately, we might have to travel a little bit farther to see one than the other.
Not that
far. Yeah, not that far, but it's just a little unfortunate that it's not playing here in Manteca.
Which comes down to the box office predictions.
Oh, boy.
Yes. I'm assuming I'm going first, as
well,
always.
actually, yeah, you can go first, but we gotta. It's the start of a new year, you guys.
We start over.
Start over. I don't know who won.
God, thank God.
I don't know.
We didn't really tally it up or count it.
We've never done it. But we will tally it this year, and at the end of the year, we will reveal the winner.
Something.
We'll have to keep track.
Yes.
Write down somewhere. I don't know.
Well, I'm going to predict at number 1 will be Lone Survivor.
Okay.
At number 2, I'm going to have Frozen.
Mm-hmm.
At number 3, I got The Hobbit. And at 4, I have Her.
That's kind of... there's nothing else really unless Frozen just happens to stay at number 1, which I doubt.
The thing that's that's throwing me off is Her, because it's a wide release, but it's not wide release and it's not coming here. So it's not. It's like a limited release. I really don't know.
So I have what Brian has, except for I'm gonna have The Legend of Hercules at 4. Just Because I'm sure people are just gonna. I don't know. People are gonna see it. I'm sure.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Well, let's see. I'm gonna go with Paranormal Activity, the Mark ones, at number 4.
Forgot about that movie.
I'm gonna put Frozen at number 3. This is where I might more than likely will get it wrong. I'm gonna have Her at number 2 and the Lone Survivor at number 1. Probably way off because, like I said, I don't know if Her is actually the wide release since it's not coming here.
Her's definitely a different movie too. I don't know if it's like mainstream.
Yeah.
Maybe like a Mark Wahlberg film. But
Yeah, it's more it's more of like an independent film a little bit.
Mhm.
But I
Definitely.
mean, it's a love story, you know. I think
Yes.
it reaches it's a wide audience. I think a little bit, not as much as like Lone Survivor, you know, action packed and all big budget. But I think the best movie that's coming out this week is Her, as far as story, anyways.
Well, that is our new releases for the week. Our box office predictions are in. And it's now time to reveal that movie. So do you guys...
Can
you guys know?
Can you guys just read it again, please?
Yes, I'll read it. In the aftermath of the Persian Gulf War, 4 soldiers set out to steal gold that was stolen from Kuwait, but they discover people who desperately need their help.
You said 4 soldiers, right?
Yes.
I wanted to say 3 kings until you said 4 soldiers.
Brett, do you ever... a guess?
No,
No?
no.
No guess.
Have I seen this movie?
Probably not.
Can you pick movies from now on that we may have seen?
I'm not sure every movie you've seen, so that would be kind of hard to do.
Jeez.
But we actually have a winner, because Vic actually got it right.
Woo!
It is 3 Kings,
Yes.
which stars George Clooney, Ice Cube, and Mark Wahlberg.
Jesus, I'm in for a rough year.
So that is our movie for the week.
You gonna keep track of that too?
Yes, I'm going to write that down here in just a minute.
Put that line down,
definitely
sir.
check out the new releases: The Legend of Hercules, Her, Lone
Oh,
Survivor.
yeah.
Pick up the DVD release, Runner, and Closed Circuit. Check out Trailer of the Week, which is going to be Bad Words. Check out Vic's pick.
The Haunting in Connecticut
Yes.
on Netflix.
Follow us on Twitter,
At Movie Talk Radio, at the Torvik 23.
Movie Talk Brian at the Podcast King. Thank you to Brandon for his movie review. Follow him at Bitch Boy Brandon.
I thought you were making that up in the beginning.
No, it's
yeah.
Bitch Boy Brandon.
Thank you to Sean once again. Thanks to Senegal for my awesome intro music.
Yes.
Yes.
Thank you to everybody.
Until next week.
Here's to a good year.
Yeah,
Good
it's 2014. That's where
There you
we're
go.
supposed to raise the glasses we don't have.
year. Yes.
I have an
I
empty
haven't-
water bottle, and you're giving me an empty beer bottle. I will.
Brian's cheersing himself.
All right. We got plastic water bottles like right here.
That is a wrap.
Yeah. See you guys later. Thank you for.
Thank you for listening to the Stallion Radio Network.